Okay. Um, I really want to welcome each and everyone who is under the sound of my voice this evening. All right. Today we shall be looking at critical topic. Just hold on a bit. Okay. My name is Dr. Victor Ekieno. I am a movie practitioner, and today we shall be looking at a very important topic that says that talent is not enough. All right. Talent actually is not enough. When we talk about professional acting, notwithstanding your talent, notwithstanding your ability to act, you must act professionally. You must act convincingly. All right. Now, some persons are wallowing in ignorance. They don't just want to learn. All right. They will tell you what's the essence of going for training when I can actually do it. Yes, you may actually know how to do it, but doing it professionally is another thing. You might be doing some things in ignorance, and when you are asked, you cannot explain. That doesn't sound good, right? So there's nothing as beautiful as you doing what you're doing and you can explain it, because you never can tell where life may push you to. All right, just like a stylist can just wake up one day and says, I can actually make hair without being trained. You definitely will not know what hair they call, the particular hair you're doing. You wouldn't know the name. You wouldn't know what to do. You understand? Just like a medical doctor cannot just wake up one day and say, I can conduct operation. The medical doctor must undergo training, right? Must go to school, get to know all the apparatuses. What is it called? Do you understand? Is to the betterment of the medical doctor, so that he would know exactly what he's doing. In case he finds himself in a professional setting, you understand, he will be able to defend what he's doing. The same thing goes for film acting. All right. Film acting is one professional aspect that brings money, and a whole lot of people are running into it without undergoing proper training. So I am here, all right, as a professional to teach us how to act convincingly. One thing is for you to stand before camera. Another thing is for you to know why you are standing before a camera. Anybody can just wake up and do something, you understand? But doing it convincingly, doing it professionally, that in case you are asked, you can actually defend it, is another thing altogether, right? So we shall be looking at the topic acting for believability. Acting for believability is one professional aspect of acting that stands you out. It stands you out, it gives you an edge over other actors. You understand? Some people don't know how to make use of their body. The body of an actor is the greatest tool of an actor. The body, all right? So there are two major tools of an actor. We talk about the body, we talk about the voice of an actor. Do you understand? But the body of an actor is what I am looking at today. Still on the topic acting for believability. The way you carry yourself, you understand, connotes who you are, the character you're portraying. You may not have uttered any word, but a mere looking at you, if you're acting the role of a king, actually spells it out that indeed this fellow is a king. before you even verbalize it. You understand? There are some persons who are so afraid. They cannot even, when they can actually verbalize it, but the courage is lacking. They don't have the courage. They don't know how to walk. Do you understand? For some person might look at the aspect of height. Height is beautiful, yes. We're not disputing that. But you might actually have the height, but you cannot carry yourself. You understand? Is badadash. So acting for believability has to do with, number one, you consider the script itself. The script is the bedrock. The script is the foundation of any professional acting. The foundation, the script. Now, first thing first, how do you unravel a character? Number one, you pick a professional script. Haven't picked the script. You first thing first, read the script. It is important that you must read the script. You read the script the first time, you can read the script the second time, you can read the script the third time. Why you are going through the script the first, the second, and the third time is for proper synchronization. Synchronization, where you understand the subtext of the script, the subtext of the story. You understand? Now, having synchronized the situation, the storyline, the next thing you do is to read your lines. The character you are to act, you need to read it very well. Read it the first time, read it the second time, read the third time, as many times as possible. Then you read the lines of other characters, because you cannot just act in an empty space. You act with other characters, so you need to act with them. So you guys read your own lines, you read the lines of other characters, you question every punctuation, you question every comma, you question every act, the act of the characters, you question it. It's another way of realization. It's another way of you getting to know why you do what you do. Then you question, why are you bearing the name you're bearing? You understand? Why are you bearing this name? For instance, if you're bearing the name Victor, why is my name Victor? That means I must be a conqueror. That means there are battles I must fight to merit the name Victor. Do you understand? So by the time you get to know that, you find out where you came from. Why are you from where you're from? Who is your father? Who is your mother? Why are you reacting over things? Why are you reacting over situation in the story? So questioning your character, questioning where you are from, it gives you an edge to understanding the role you are acting. All right? Now, having done that, you find out about other characters, how to find out more about yourself. What you say as a character is another way of unraveling the believability of the role you are playing. What you say, that's number one. What other characters say about you, that's number two. What you do and what the script says. So you must unravel this for you to be able to portray the role convincingly. You understand? And now some people think that by shouting, it gives you an edge. It makes people to hear you. No, shouting does not make you a better actor. Shouting doesn't. Ability to modulate your lines make you a better actor. Ability to enunciate makes you a better actor. Ability to project not by shouting. Do you understand? And you cannot just project in every situation. No, you first and first understand, why are you saying what you're saying? Situation must trigger your response. Situation must trigger the way you respond over situation, over a given circumstance. You understand? So there must be something, a trigger, something that will motivate you to do what you do. You understand? We're still talking about acting for believability. Acting for believability. You understand? I have seen a whole lot of skits that is actually lacking. You will see an actor projecting as if he or she is on a stage. When we talk about stage acting has to do with more of projection, the body of the actor, the body and the voice. You understand? But when we talk about script writing, you understand? When we talk about script writing, thank you so much, Mr. Majid. Okay, script writing is a different thing. Okay, acting for the movie is a different thing. Directing is a different thing. They have their nuances. Do you understand? So back to believability. Number one, you consider the scripts. Not every script can have a pass mark. There are some scripts that are full of errors. These are not the kind of script I'm talking about. A great director knows exactly what to do. When you pick a professional script, he knows how to censor that script. He knows what to accept and what not to. By the way, a professional script is like a linking chain. A professional script is like a linking chain. So whatever you remove, it will be obvious in another scene that you have yanked something. All right? So now back to acting. Why do you act? What is acting? Is acting an imitation? Or acting is a representation? Is acting you being a character? Being a character. So a lot of people don't even know the definition. You understand? Now, acting is an imitation. Aristotle said human beings like imitation. They see imitation and imitating people. That's the definition of Aristotle. Do you understand that human beings like imitation? They see imitation and they imitate people. Now, let's bring it down. Generally, what is said is true. There's this tendency of us, human beings, wanting to imitate what we see. We imitate it. You understand? Some people are really good at it, knowing how to imitate very well, while some don't. But there's this tendency of us wanting to imitate what we see. So why do we imitate? Why do we act? Is that acting is an imitation. While another person sees acting as a representation. You are representing what happens in the society. Okay, on a screen, you are representing. All right. So why another scholar see acting as being a character, and that is what I really want to talk about here. You being something, a character, that has to do with internalization. How do you internalize a role? How do you internalize a role? Number one, the role you are given must bear a name. That nomenclature is what actually stands an actor out. It stands you out. Now, you ought to have asked as a character, how come every character has a name? Why they give that name or a name to a character is for identification. You can repeat after me, identification. So a character bears a name for identification purposes. Do you understand? Now, having identified a certain character with a name, then you start questioning the background of that character. This character, where is it coming from? Who is the father of this character? Who is his mother? Which history are we projecting? What's the timeline? What's the period like? You understand? Is it a contemporary period or is an epic period? Now, if it were to be an epic period, so civilization in Africa is not that much. So you trace the origin of this character. Is this character going to speak a Polish English? Or is this character going to speak a vernacular? Is this character, how is his body physique going to be like? Is this character going to adorn himself with chains or jewelries? Because not once, not twice, I have actually seen an epic film where the characters perforate ears and put earrings, and they consider it epic films. Some person now decide to brandish the name epic contemporary. Epic contemporary. Now, epic contemporary, yet the background is still showing a local setting. So what makes it contemporary? If we are saying that we have an epic scene in a local, as a local environment where the attaches and all that is understandable. Do you understand? Then probably the person now moves from that local background to a township. You understand? Then we can brandish the movie as epic contemporary, but not in the situation where you are having a thatch house, you're living in a thatch house, the environment is so bad. Okay, thatch houses everywhere, but you see a character with a chain, that's an actor putting on a chain with an earring, and you call it epic contemporary. That is awkward. That is actually awkward. That is not it. You understand? So we are still talking about acting for believability. Why do we act the way we act? Why do we do what we do? You question every role. You understand? You question the role. You can't just see a script and you just jump into the role. No, you will make a mess of yourself. So that's where the aspect of questioning every role comes into play. You understand? And that's why I'm here. All right. As a professional in this field, I want to let you know that by the time we are done with this course, you will get to know how to act convincingly. The world we see is a stage, and all the persons living in the world are players. I repeat my statement. I say the world itself is a stage, and each one of us are players, okay, acting the script out. All right, we are acting a script. All right, so each one of us are players. So having known that the world itself is a stage and we are acting, that will make you know that for every opportunity you have, you should take it seriously. So like I said, you don't just pick a role and you just want to say. Now, I realize that these days, what we lay emphasis on are more on the diction, how we pronounce words. Do you understand how vocal we are, how articulate we are? Acting goes beyond speaking English language. Acting is spiritual. Acting is physical. Acting has to do with your psyche. Acting is subconscious. Although you are acting in your consciousness, but it's a subconscious thing, you must have internalized it in your mind. Haven't internalized the role you want to act, then as you open your mouth to start verbalizing the lines, it comes natural. And that's where you see some actors as they are before a camera, you understand, or probably as you're watching, you'll be shouting that this person is good, this person is good. The person had already internalized the role in his mind eye. You understand? He had already acted it before he started acting. And that is how you can act believably. That's how you can act believably. You understand? But if you are this type that just say, let's just do it, let's just do it, we have done it before, we can do it again, you are not correct. You might get it wrong. Another aspect of acting, a lot of people make mistake, is by taking what you have done in another scene and bringing it to a new story, a new scene. It is not done that way. Every story has its own challenge. Every character has its own challenge. You understand? Every character has its own interpretation. Every story has its own interpretation. Even if it's directed by the same director, it does not mean that he is going to direct each a different story the same way. It's not done that way. Do you understand? So, how much do you know about acting, professional acting? I am not talking because we have three stages of acting. We have the normal stage acting, we have the screen acting, and we have the radio acting. The radio acting is the blind media, while the screen has to do with motion pictures, okay, deals with pictures, while the stage deals more with symbol. All right. So today I'm talking about pictures, movies. You understand? Believability, acting for believability. And here I made a statement that talent alone is not enough. Talent is not enough because talent will not tell you where to modulate. Talent will not tell you where to enunciate. Talent will not tell you when to project. Talent will not tell you when to completely keep silent. Do you understand? You need to be trained so that you know which situation requires you keeping quiet. You need to be trained to know which situation will require you to project. You need to be trained to know which situation will make you pause and then you speak. Do you understand? These are on the platform of training, not just talent alone. You understand? So if you are into acting or probably want to act believably, you can drop a message for me so that I will actually see I can respond to it, okay, as we progress in our training. So Majid, Dayek, say, I am going to bring my friend to watch you. Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much, Majid, for this. God bless you. So I can't wait to have your friend watch me, all right? So acting for believability is one thing that is key. You understand? A lot of people are afraid to face camera. You understand? How to ignore the camera is you being in front of camera, but you ignore the camera. You understand? More like being private in public. You do not allow the camera to weaken your psyche. You just be yourself. And how can you do that? Because camera on its own carries influence. Yes, that's the truth. Notwithstanding the crew members that are behind the camera, watching or probably shooting and projecting, the one that is taking the boom mic, placing it above your head so that your voice can be properly projected. They are there, but camera on its own carries influence. So the only way you can actually defeat this influence, you understand, act with proper comportment, is by knowing what you have to say. Is by knowing why you're doing what you're doing. Is by knowing why you are acting. You understand? And it comes in the place of understudying the script. Understudying the script. Every professional script or story must have a script. Every professional movie must have a script. Do you understand? In the case of improvisation, it's a different thing. But I'm talking about a proper foundational film. You understand? It must have a story. That story is a guide. That script is a guide. That script is the plot. That script is the blueprint. That script, you understand, is the foundation. Is the foundation by which the story is built. You understand? And just like let's take an example. You look at a case of upstairs and all that. You notice that most of the houses that are sinking or probably collapsing is as a result of bad materials used. If you probably as an engineer want to economize the material you're using to build a house, it's probably your house, then you are endangering your life. Where you're supposed to use 16 mm, you decide to use 10 mm. Where you're supposed to use 10 mm rods, you decide to use 4 mm. You understand? When the storm comes, you are gone. So the same thing with acting. You need to question every scene. You need to question every role. You need to question the name you are bearing. You need to question the lines you are rendering. You need to question where you are from. You need to find out why you're doing what you are doing. What is the subtext? Who gave birth to you? If the person who gave birth to you is a thief, and the storyline is trying to project that you will end up being a thief, it might be correct. It might be correct because it runs in the blood. But in a case whereby your father, the person who fathered you, is a thief, and here you are not a thief, there must be something that had happened to you. Are you born again? If you're born again, that means you have an encounter with Jesus because he has the capacity to change you. Or are you a moralist who had said, what happened to my dad will not happen to me? Do you understand? But in a case whereby you are none of this and you are into act, you are acting, and you discover that your father is a murderer, you understand, and your grandfather was a murderer as well, you understand, there's every tendency that the people your father murdered, the people your grandfather murdered may actually come after you. So you might end up becoming a murderer. Do you understand? So a script on its own is dead until the actors start talking. So when the actors start talking, the script comes to life. The actor, the verbalization of the actor is what gives the script life. So you must find out why you are acting the way you are acting. You must find out what other characters are saying about you. You must find out the meaning of your name. You must find out your background. You must find out who gave birth to your father, who gave birth to your mother. You must find out if you have other siblings. In a case whereby you were born maybe 3 in the family, and it now happens to be that you are the only one surviving, what happens to your brothers? You must find out. If your brothers are dead, who killed them? You must find out. And if it's your uncle, is your uncle still alive? You must find out. If he's still alive, that means he might come after your life. So you look for a way to silence your uncle. You understand? This is how you can act believably. This is what can give you that spring. That when you take a professional script, as you open your mouth with experience. As you open your mouth professionally. You know when to project. You know when to be angry. You know when to be soft. You know when to cry. You know when to laugh. You understand? This, it builds you up. It builds you up. Do you understand? Where if you stand before other actors, you're always standing out. Now, in the aspect of crying, there are a whole lot of actors who don't know how to cry on their own, according to the given circumstance. You understand? Most professional actors still ask actors on set to slap them. Professionally, it's not done, especially when it's not enshrined in the script. They ask actors to slap them so that it will anger them, probably for them to cry. Or some of them apply rub, you understand, for them to cry. Professional actors that most of them, we are celebrating the unknown to us. What happens behind the scene? Some apply water. But I want to tell you a secret, how to act or cry convincingly without asking an actor to slap you, or probably applying water in your eye, or probably a director abusing you. Number one, every human being had a sad moment. All right? It could be the moment you lost your dad in physical. It could be the moment you lost your mom in physical. It could be your uncle. It could be your close pal. It could be your wife. It could be your husband. It could be anybody that was so close to you that had died. Do you understand? And in a situation whereby you're acting a scene where you need to cry, all you just need to take your mind back. Just cast your mind back to what had happened that day. Now imagine, because that's why I said acting has to do with imagination, accuracy in your thinking. Psychologically, you bring what had happened in the past, you bring it to the present, and imagine that is happening real. I tell you the truth, tears will gush out. You shed tears. Do you understand? You will shed tears, and it will be so real. In fact, recently I was interviewing a very big name, a veteran in the industry, and this veteran, While I was interviewing him, I just asked him a question. That what stands you out from other actors? When I said that, he laughed. I was like, you want to know what stands me out from other actors? I said, of course. I just want to know because you're being celebrated everywhere. Okay, so let me get to know what is giving you that edge. He just came up with a storyline, a very simple story. He said, imagine a case where um, I pick up a girl from the gutter, so to speak, from a slum. Someone, a daughter of a nobody. I picked her up and I decided to groom her, even to the university level. At the end of it all, with the mindset of this girl, marry me. But she ended up turning me down, not wanting to marry me. You understand? And I persuaded her that marry me. I want to get married to you. And eventually, she marries him. But her eye is still outside. She's still dating someone outside. You understand? And one day, he catches her with another man. All right? He just haven't said this simple scenario. He said, okay, fine. That he's going to approach her by telling her, you mean all the things I have done for you? I trained you. I made you who you are. At the end of it all, I made you a complete woman by getting married to you. Is this how you want to pay me? While he was saying this, he started shedding tears. I said, this is beautiful. This character wore the role. He wore the role. And you see believability in his role. And while he was saying it, he started, catarrh started running from his nose. You understand? And his veins on his face, you could see it, that this character is disappointed by what had happened. And the way he was saying it, he said it convincingly. That is acting for believability. That is acting convincingly. Do you understand? So, first thing first, you must understand the situation. It is the situation now that will motivate you to do what you ought to do. It is the situation that will introduce you to the realm of the feeling. The situation will introduce you to that realm of understanding how you should act the way you should act, and at the end you act convincingly. This is acting for believability. Not the derelict we have these days that anyone could just do anything. You'll notice that while they are acting, they're peeping camera and they say they can go, nothing and all that. No! Acting is not by shouting. Do you understand? If you want to shout on screen, no. Go shout on the stage. And on the stage, you don't even shout, you project. You project from your stomach. You project, not shouting. You understand? So, on screen, the boom mic is there to project your voice. The way you talk in real life is what you have to replicate on screen. And that's what shows that you are an actor. That's what shows that you are an actress. Or these days, the women prefer to be called actors. But the fact remains, check the dictionary meaning, you will still see that a woman is an actress. All right? A man is an actor. So acting for believability. Acting can put food on your table when you act convincingly. You understand? Know your body language. How do you, the face, all right, is the storehouse of emotion. Don't forget, the human face is the storehouse of emotion. You can learn how to raise your eyebrow when you are surprised. You can also learn how to raise your eyebrow when you are angry. You can also know how to first thing first, express your feelings first from your facial expression before you verbalize it. And in so doing, I tell you the truth, you will not be rejected on any site. By so doing, once you are in the midst of professionals, you can hold your ground. All right? So, we're talking about acting for believability. Acting for believability. So, acting is not just a representation. Acting is not just an imitation. Oh, yes, you can imitate, but acting is being a character, being the personality, being that person you are projecting, you are interpreting. Be that person. You understand? There are a whole lot of actors who go the extra. If the role you are portraying is a lanky fellow who is not fat, you will see some professional actors who even starve themselves just to look lanky, to look slim. You understand? So by the time they wear the role, you will see them blazing in that role. I remember there was a particular film that I watched where 50 Cent had to like starve himself, you understand, to look slimmer in order to fit that role. That was awesome. In fact, it was looking more like a scarecrow. You understand? Yes, he did that so that he could act convincingly. And whoever saw that film concluded that 50 Cent was sick. So in real life, when he was being interviewed, he said he at a point he starved himself. He starved himself so that he could fit into the role. And when he did that, man, the result was reverberating. So in acting convincingly, you must pay a price. You can't just go into acting convincingly without paying a price. The price, number one, you must know how to articulate a point. You must know how to articulate an idea. You understand? Ability to express yourself convincingly gives you an edge too. Ability to express yourself convincingly. Not just knowing how to speak English. How do you speak it? How do you say it? Your pronunciation, your articulation over words, articulation, the way you say it matters. The way you say it matters. There are some lines that you just need to pause for emphasis purposes. There are some lines that you just need to project for emphasis purposes. There are some lines that you just need to muffle down for emphasis purposes. You understand? So in acting, you need that professional touch where someone will tell you this is how to do it. This is how to do it. So I am actually recommending myself, letting you know that I can teach you how to act from being a mediocre, from being an amateur to becoming a professional actor. All I need from you is your time. All right? Just give me your time and watch. As you watch, I will take you step by step. Today is just a preamble, an introductory aspect of professional acting. You understand? And you cannot erase the fact that we act every day. Unconsciously, we are acting. Now, some person might say, I'm not an actor. So that this training is for those who are into the acting industry. No. Whatever you are doing, haven't you heard that when people are making account of the offices they had occupied, you see someone saying, I acted in the capacity of an MD, I acted in the capacity of an assistant MD, I acted in the capacity of a secretary. So that goes to tell you that for everything we do every day, we are acting consciously, unconsciously. And here I want a situation whereby you act consciously to make good dough, make good pay. All right. And in getting that done, you must first and foremost understand the tenets. You must understand why you do what you do. You must understand why you interpret the role the way you interpret it. Is very, very key. You understand? And that stands you out. That makes you stand above your equals. Do you understand? Where you question every action, you question every action, you question every scene, you question every role, you question every punctuation mark, you question the comma, you question the structure of the script. Every script has a structure. And now you may be thinking, what is the structure of a script? The structure of the script is staring at you there. Now, you see a case where, as you pick at one scene one, you will see the playwright will say, Mr. Bassi comes out, looks into the atmosphere or stares into the atmosphere, smiles, and suddenly looks for where to sit. He sits down and probably calls his daughter. That is the structure of the script. Do you understand? So it is the structure now, the structure of the script that gives birth to what Bassi will say. Bassi cannot just come out and start saying something without observing the structure of the script. So observing the structure will make Bassi act convincingly. Now, for you to act believably, you should find out how old is Bassi. Do you understand? In finding out the age of Bassi, that means you will trace back to when Bassi